Yeah, I mean, I don't expect to have Mason Faulkner tomorrow, and I think that's it. I don't know that. I shouldn't say tomorrow. It's 2 days from now.
In the last outing, there were still some of the struggles, the offensive droughts, I guess field goal droughts, but the team still fought through them. They showed their emotions in the second half. Did you learn anything about the makeup and mental state of your team for the way they fought in that last game?
I mean, we have the capability to be that team. We've shown that not just against Wake Forest, but in some other games as well. We have to finish around the rim better. I mean, it's no secret. I thought, part of what led to the drought was just us missing layups. And, there's no real simple answer for that other than make them. No one's trying to miss them, but, in order to escape a 9-0, 10-0 drought, you have to be able to knock one or two of them down. We were able to get to the foul line on a few occasions, which really helped our team get out of the drought. So we didn't see a jump shot go down. We didn't see a layup go in, when we're in the midst of it. And getting the other team to the point where we're in the bonus allows us to get to the free throw line and break those droughts again. To shoot 34 free throws, really positive step in the right direction.
What does it do for Sam maybe to get some of those curl actions you had him on where he can catch the ball with a little momentum?
I mean, it's the way we want him to play, the way we need him to play. He's got really good downhill speed. He's an excellent finisher. Especially when he's slicing to the basket. He's right hand, left hand, proficient. He missed one the other night where he got fouled, and normally he gets that and one. But yeah, he's got to recognize those moments. Those can't just be play calls, and they weren't the other night. There was a good mix. But yeah, him recognizing those opportunities to search out when his defender is not paying attention and backdoor him. That's a good thing. We get Sam in the lane.
He said those. I think the first two. He said the other night were called right. The first two early ones. And then what is that process for him of just sort of? Does he just look for an opportunity? Does he see if it's there? I got a chance to cut and go.
Yeah, I mean, we do so much as a lot of teams do with middle pick and roll. And when the help collapses in, and when they're bumping the roll and accounting for the big close to the basket, a lot of times those off-the-ball defenders are pinching in. They're either tagging the roll or bumping it, and they're so conditioned to close out to their man, they're not necessarily expecting that guy to be going downhill. And you can't do it all the time. You got to pick and choose your spots so that the defender doesn't always know that, hey, he's just trying to drive here. I thought Sam did a really good job of that.
Chris, you mentioned that you guys just missed some layups the other night, and it feels like you've been able to create some open shots that just haven't fallen this season. Do you use that as kind of a teaching point for keeping confidence in the offensive philosophy to just kind of keep plugging it?
Yeah, that's why, I mean, maybe from an outsider's perspective, you see the drought, or you see, us not scoring a certain amount of points or going, a certain amount of minutes with not scoring the ball, but we're so much more process driven as a coaching staff and what we're looking for in our offense. And I felt great about where we were with Wake. Whereas other games, even when the ball's going in, first half against Western Kentucky would be a perfect example. People thought our defense, and it did, it did let us down big time in the first half. And they were like, hey, if they could just get their defense to where it's been all year and play the same type of offense they did in the first half, they'll be fine. And that's total fool's gold. How we played in the first half was a joke. And our players have to understand that. We have to be systematic in our approach, whether they're zone or whether they're man. And that's why I was really pleased with how we played on offense, because we got that part. Can't control missed shots, but we can control getting and earning really good shots. And our team took a real positive step in the right direction against Wake.
Do you feel like there was a better balance of kind of still getting those outside shots with some of the shooters you have and attacking the lane a little bit more?
Yeah, again, I think sometimes I get, I don't want to be this guy that you think I'm against three-point shooting. It has to be created the right way. We're not talented enough to just swing it around a couple times on the perimeter and launch it up. I don't think any teams really are built to be successful over the long haul that way. And our team had to learn the hard way, unfortunately. And it doesn't mean we're going to be perfect moving forward, but I think we understand what we're supposed to get out of our offense to get looks, whether they're inside the three or outside the three.
There
Well, I thought he definitely, you know, cut with confidence, cut like he wanted to go into his shot, recognizing those opportunities when he has them. I think Noah has to understand that offensively, he always has to be a hard cutter. No good team is going to lose him just because they're not paying attention to him. You know, there's got to be an obstacle, and that's a screen, and he's got to be able to set his man up so his man, you know, falls into the screen and frees himself or collapses a big guy on him. Thought he did that much better in the second half.
You've seen Sid and Rose kind of work their way into the big man rotation. We haven't seen a lot of JJ this year. What does he need to do to change that?
JJ's got to bring way more energy. He's got to be a guy that, you know, can either be a lot more physical and a lot stronger as a 5, or a lot more confident when he has the ball on the perimeter against a smaller guy and not get overwhelmed by pressure. He can shoot the ball. He's got a good IQ. But again, he's sort of in between right now. You know, we have a couple four men that are ahead of him, a couple 5 men that are ahead of him, and that's, you know, I can see his versatility for both positions, and we haven't given up on him, but he's got to be stronger as a 5 if he's undersized, and he's got to be way better with the basketball in terms of decision-making when he plays on the perimeter.
You seem to use a shorter rotation in the second half, if I remember correctly, in the last game. Is that something that's just going to transpire per game, depending on what the flow is or the opponent is, or do you see that potentially evolving as the season progresses?
Part of the smaller rotation was the fact that, you know, a couple of our players came off of COVID and weren't really available to their, you know, fullest extent. So I wouldn't read too much into that. I've said it all the time. I think, you know, we don't have this hierarchy of, you know, a player of the year candidate. We have a bunch of really good players, and so who performs best in practice and in the game will continue to get extended run.
One thing on Sam, I've heard NBA coaches say before, like a guy can be an athlete, but if you don't get his athleticism in the game, it doesn't matter. You know, are cuts and things like that away from the ball ways to get his athleticism
Yeah,
useful?
no question about it. You know, getting him out in transition, getting him in space, finding those moments where he can, you know, cut to the rim and use his size and his athleticism, especially off 1 foot, you know, are ways